See, I like the way Kenyon is looking up at me. I love the way Sienna's looking up at me. And Sydney and Justin and Matthew. Thank you for looking up at me. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to read Fragile Frogs. Does anyone know what the word fragile means? I guess we all do. Okay, great. Kylie, go ahead.
It means like, well, delicate kind of.
Delicate kind of, right. Okay, so if that's our title, if it means fragile frogs, what do you guys think we're going to be reading about? Matthew.
Frogs that might be delicate.
They might be delicate. Okay, what's the reason why you think they might be delicate? Aiden.
Probably because of some poisonous frogs.
You think some poisonous frogs? Okay. Kaden, what do you think?
Maybe some interesting frogs that maybe some people haven't seen before.
Some interesting frogs we haven't seen before. That's why they're delicate. I think the word you're thinking maybe is rare. Yeah, I'm sure you're thinking maybe it's rare. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and read page, a couple pages in here. And what I want you to think about as I'm reading is there is a frog in here, and it's called the gastric brooding frog. And as I'm reading this, I want you to think what makes this frog so special. And then I also want you to think of the reason why maybe that there is extinction among amphibians. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so fragile frogs. Amphibian scientists are like everybody else. They like to talk about what they do, and at an international conference in 1989, nearly everyone was telling the same story. There seem to be fewer amphibians, which are frogs, toads, salamanders, and caecilians. Each scientist thought it was happening just to the animals he or she studied, but when the scientists talked to one another, they realized it was happening everywhere. Concerned scientists surveyed amphibian populations all over the world. They discovered that about a third of amphibians, or 1,856 out of 5,743 species, are threatened with extinction. Since 1980, at least 122 species have probably become extinct. Australia had a remarkable species called the gastric brooding frog. The mother frog swallowed her eggs and hatched her babies in their stomach. The little frogs hopped from their mother's mouth into the big, wide world.
Sounds interesting.
During the 1980s, the Australian gastric brooding frog disappeared. Something similar happened in Costa Rica. Golden toads once lived in Costa Rica's cool-wet forest. The males of the 2-inch-long species were golden orange, like wet pudding tangerines. They gathered by the hundreds during breeding season. The golden toad was last seen in 1989. Like the gastric brooding frog, the golden toad is now considered extinct. No one knows what killed the gastric brooding frog or the golden toads. Habitat loss is a big problem for many wild animals, including amphibians. Frogs, toads, and salamanders died when wetlands are drained, ponds are filled, or forests are cut down. Sometimes amphibian habitat is fragmented or chopped into smaller pieces. When roads, houses, or shopping centers are built, imagine a tiny frog trying to hop safely across a freeway or parking lot. Scientists looked closely at places where amphibians were declining. To their surprise, they found it wasn't always where habitat was being lost or fragmented. Frogs are disappearing from protected areas or places very far from humans. Costa Rica's golden toad lived in the national park. The gastric brooding frog lived in remote parts of Australia. Okay, so go ahead and take a second. I want you to go ahead and turn to the very first page. And I want you to find where we're talking about those remarkable species of the gastric brooding frog. And I want you to go ahead and turn to your partner. And I want you to go ahead and answer the question, what was so remarkable about these frogs?
That they were extinct.
Talk to Sydney about 2, 1. Okay. So who can tell me what is so remarkable about these frogs? About this gastric brooding frog? What is so remarkable about it? Michael. Yeah. The babies, when mothers have their babies, they come out of their mouth. What else? Let's see. Kenyon.
The golden toad was extinct and the gastric golden frog was extinct.
Okay. What's so remarkable about the gastric brooding frog, though? Do you remember? It was in that first page. Is actually, I think, paragraph 3. So, Michael already said that the mother frog hatched her babies, or the babies came out of the mouth. What else, Kenyon?
The mother frog swallowed her eggs and
Mhm.
hatched her babies in her stomach.
Yeah, so isn't that kind of funny?
Nope.
That the gastric brooding frogs, probably where it got the name from, would take her babies and she would put her babies in her mouth, and then she swallowed them, and then they would hatch out and come out of her mouth.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's interesting. What do you guys think?
That'd be
what you
really
would
cool
do?
to see.
Disgusting.
I like how Kelly's raising her hand. How would you feel if you would see that?
Well, the golden toad, the picture is nasty.
Yeah,
It's
That
a
is all
checked
dried up and
skin.
gross.
that
That's
was a picture of one that they had in a museum because it was extinct now, so they carried it there. Okay, so my other question for you was, what could be causing that extinction of those frogs? Of the golden frogs, and then we also have our Australian gastric brooding frog. What could be the extinction of that? Or what is causing that extinction? Matthew.
There was trees and water.
They're losing trees and water?
Yes.
Okay. What else is going on here? Kira.
I just wanted to say about the gastric brooding frog. Like, what would you do if you were standing next to a frog and then its baby started jumping out of its mouth?
I know. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
It'd be
Can you,
awesome.
Kara, can you answer me? Why do you think that these frogs are becoming extinct? You wanna come back?
I agree with what Matthew said.
So they're losing their trees and water. What's another reason, Peter? I could probably.
They're losing swamps.
They're losing their swamps. So they're losing their places to live, right? And there's actually a specific name for that, which you guys are gonna read in 1 second. I know it. Okay, so now what I want you guys to do is I want you to continue where I left off. So you're gonna read on starting from page 8, and you're gonna read until page, I think it's 11. It's like 2 pages. So you're gonna read those 2 pages and have questions that I want you to consider as you are reading. Okay, and I'm gonna put those on for you in a second.
So they're stopping on page 8, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they're not reading page 9.
No, they're starting on page 8.
Oh, they're starting on they're reading page 8 and 9. Gotcha.
So go ahead and continue to read as I figure out how to get your questions. Should be reading right now, guys. Okay, as you're reading, consider these questions that I have right here. minute, 2, 0. We're good. 1. I see 1. I see 2. Okay, so let's take about 2.5, well, 2 more minutes. Okay, and remember, if you are finished reading, look up at these questions and try to see if you can find the answer to those questions in your text.